Hi, I'm Sue Fairchild, professional editor for the Christian Market. I don't change voices, I make them louder, and here's how. Today, we're going to be talking about if you need an agent for your book. If you have been writing your book for a while and you're kind of getting to the end and deciding what you want to do next, you're probably wondering if you need an agent. Conferences and different people we talk to in the industry will often tell us, of course, you need an agent. And this seems to be something that is kind of riding a wave right now with the self-publishing industry. So I thought I would give you just a quick video here talking about, do you need an agent for your book? First off, I want to say, as a general rule, and as just a quick answer, if you are for sure, for certain, you are not going to go the traditional publishing route, you are definitely going to self-publish, you don't need an agent. Agents are typically only used with actual traditional publishing companies. So publishing companies utilize agents kind of to weed out the thousands of manuscripts that are coming to them all the time. So I work in the Christian industry, so like Tyndale, Baker Revell, those types of really large publishing houses, if they just had everybody just sending their manuscripts to them, there would be kind of like no gatekeeper to weed them out. Okay. So agents act as those gatekeepers. They typically get some kind of commission or royalty if they get you a publishing contract. I don't have all the details of that today, but we're just talking today if you need one and what to do to get one. So the agent acts as your representative. So I had this quick little story about my friend who she met an agent at a local writers conference, and she talked to him. She had her pitch already. She talked to him about what her book was about. And he said, yes, I really like that. I think I have companies that I work with that would be interested in that book. So you send me your proposal, which that's a whole nother thing, a proposal, and I will send it out to all of these companies. So she did that. She got her proposal ready, all prepared very professionally, and sent it to him, not the publishing company. She contracted with him as her agent. She sent him her proposal, which includes usually a couple of chapters, if not sometimes the whole book, in the proposal, depending on the publishing company. And then he has a list of publishing companies that he works with that he knows what they're looking for. He or she, the agent, knows exactly what those publishing houses are currently looking for, what they've bought from him in the past. And so he starts sending her proposal, not her book, her proposal out to all of these publishers that he think might want to publish it. Now, this period of time can take anywhere from 6 months, that's a really low estimate, up to 2 years. My friend waited 2 years. Um, the agent was unable to sell her book, even though he believed in it strongly. He was unable to sell her book to any of the publishing houses that he worked with. Now, that doesn't mean that other publishing houses that he doesn't work with might not be interested. He only has a set list of companies that he works with, okay? So they agreed mutually to break their contract. So I tell you this story because I want people to understand, I want writers to understand that even if you have an agent, that doesn't mean you're going to sell your book, okay? It doesn't guarantee you a publishing contract. Now, often if if an agent says they want it and they know that they can sell it, a lot of the time you will sell it. Definitely an agent liking your book and being intrigued by it and knowing the market, that's a good first step. You can certainly say that having an agent then gets you one step closer to a publishing contract, but it does not guarantee you a publishing contract. Okay. So they went their mutually acceptable ways. They are still friends. We're all in the Christian industry, so we just things didn't work out. That's okay. Contracts do get broken, and it works out most of the time. And she did her part, and he did his part. So they agreed to let go. She decided then she was not going to pursue another agent because now she has waited 2 years. So was not going to pursue another agent. She was not going to try and pursue a publishing contract of any sort. She self-published it. I helped her with that. So she decided afterwards to then self-publish. She has the book out. It's lovely. It has sold. So, she worked it out without having an agent. So if you want to be published in the traditional standard publishing house, more than likely you will need a agent. Most of them require an agent. They do not take what's called unsolicited manuscripts. When you see that, when you're looking at a market guide or something, when they say unsolicited manuscripts, that means it needs to go through an agent. That's the solicitor. That's the person who's soliciting the manuscript for them. And again, just because you have an agent doesn't mean you're going to get a contract. Now, how do you get an agent? Well, first of all, I would suggest, if you can, go to writers' conferences. Go to writers' conferences that are in your genre. Even if you have to travel to them. I know a lot of people say, well, there's none in my area. Well, save up some money, try to go to one that's nearby. The Christian industry, there are one in many states. There are Christian conferences at all times of the year. So, I mean, just find one, do a Google search, or get yourself a market guide again to find out when these conferences are and how you can get to them, and try and get to them. Especially if you have a specific market like romance or children's or science fiction or fantasy. If you're in the fantasy Christian marketplace, you need to go to Realm Makers. Realm Makers. They just had their conference. It was in Atlantic City. Next year, it's in St. Louis. That is the place to be for Christian fantasy writers. So you need to go to that conference. You need to figure out a way to go to these conferences. And there, make sure you have your pitch ready about what your book is about. An elevator pitch, short, know what your book is about, know what your character's about, and then talk to agents. Pitch. You're going to pitch to them. You're selling your idea to them. Even if it's not in the Christian industry, there are plenty of conferences that are around for the traditional market as well. So that would be my first suggestion to you. Second is to have your elevator pitch, to have your pitch, possibly even a proposal put together. Currently, right now, I'm working on my proposal for the manuscript that I'm working on because I have a conference in February that I'm going to be going to, and I want to be ready. I want to be ready to talk to agents while I'm there. So I'm getting kind of all my ducks in a row. I am getting everything set up so I know my book backwards and forwards, that I can talk about it to an agent. So that's two. And then three, understand what sells in the marketplace. Are you writing a memoir? If you're writing a memoir, are you a celebrity? Are you someone that has defied death or had some kind of tragic, in the news kind of situation? If not, if you're an average, like me, everyday kind of person, memoirs don't sell. Do you have some kind of niche? Or if you're writing nonfiction, do you have some kind of niche, something that you have the skills to talk about? Do you have some kind of qualifications to talk about something? Do you have the solution to something that you can write a nonfiction book about? If you are a doctor and you have the best weight loss program, you're a dietitian and you have the best weight loss program that works for everybody, and you're writing a book about it, okay, then you are someone who's in a niche. You need to find an agent and a publisher who's also in that niche, and then you probably have a pretty good chance of getting your book published. But if you are just writing about being a dieter, you just have tried every diet on the planet and you've lost weight, you might not have the credentials to write that book. So you see what I'm saying? You have to have some kind of credential or some kind of niche, some kind of something to kind of get you in the door. Again, especially now, there are millions of people writing books. During the pandemic, that's what they did. They pulled out these drafts that they had for years because they couldn't go to work and they didn't have anything to do. So that the marketplace is even more saturated now. So you really have to stand above and beyond of what everybody else is doing. Now that sounds really depressing, doesn't it? But you can do it. Learn your craft write well, and then pursue if this is really what you want to do. Now, so the answer to the question is, do I need an agent? Maybe. So I hope that this has helped you. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you click that ding, the bell, wherever it is, so that you can make sure that you see all of my videos that come up. Thanks and have a great day and keep writing.